Hi, my name is Justin, and this is a guy smashing a bottle of wine on his face. I know this sounds strange, yet if you're struggling with sinus pain, pressure, and congestion, you're about to discover why this bottle of wine might just hold the key you've been looking for. In fact, when you watch this short presentation all the way to the end, I'll share with you the one thing that virtually every sinus sufferer does that they really should be avoiding. You'll discover how this bottle of wine ended my struggle with sinus pressure, congestion, and pain, largely by consistent use of the weird technique I'm about to show you. And the best part, with the technique you're about to discover, you can avoid the doctor's visits, antibiotics, and painful sinus surgery. Now, before we dive right in, just a bit of fair warning. You see, because I'm about to reveal some information that could hurt drug company sales and may be forced to take it down at any moment, I don't know how much longer this video will be online. So here's what I recommend. Before the video is taken down, watch this entire presentation now, so you can see exactly how this weird technique works and how you can start benefiting from it yourself. Okay, if you're like most sinus sufferers, then you've probably heard of natural or home remedies for sinus problems, right? And you've probably heard that natural remedies can be extremely hit and miss. But did you know that there is an exact process to follow when using natural remedies? A process that takes the best natural remedies, combines them, and produces shockingly effective results. It's a process I stumbled upon almost by accident. Yet, as I've discovered, this process can be 3 times more effective than most Western medicine treatments, and once you see how it works and see why it's so effective, you'll find that you can actually use this process on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis. And the best part, with this process, you'll see how I've been able to eliminate sinus pain, congestion, and pressure, and even saved almost $600 a month without stepping a foot in a doctor's office, taking any drugs, or even one single antibiotic. Now, you may be tempted to think you know what the process is and how the weird technique I'm talking about works, yet I can guarantee you've never seen or heard what I'm about to reveal. Before we dive right in, I first need to tell you a story. It's a story I'm actually embarrassed to share, yet it's important for you to hear because it explains how I first stumbled upon this process and the technique you're about to discover. Deal? Okay, to be fair, I wasn't always the energized, happy, healthy person I am now, waking up every morning with energy and vigor, enjoying every day without sinus pain or congestion, and never missing out on life because of medicine head. All these things combined has created a more radiant, healthy, engaged life than I ever experienced before I discovered this process. In fact, for a long time, as embarrassing as it may be, I constantly struggled to get my sinus pain and congestion under control. I had a wife, a successful clinic to run, and a baby girl on the way, yet I was just going through the motions, disengaged from my own life and absorbed by my own misery, mainly focused on my own pain and discomfort, or feeling like a zombie after taking some new medication. There was a time when I almost gave up and believed that the failed Western medicine treatments were the best solution, and I just had to deal with the side effects. And I'm going to share this story with you now, even though it's a little embarrassing, because it's important for you to know how close I was to giving up before stumbling upon the process I'm going to share with you today. In fact, I remember the night everything changed. It was late on a Wednesday night, almost 3 o'clock in the morning. My daughter had just been born, and it was one of the greatest days of my life. She was pink and perfect, 10 fingers and 10 toes. Yet, at less than 15 minutes old, the doctors decided she needed antibiotics. At first, I went along with the idea. These were doctors, after all. But then, as I looked at my perfectly healthy newborn daughter, something snapped. You see, I had spent my entire life getting round after round of antibiotics for ear and sinus infections. As a kid, I suffered almost constant ear infections, enduring several surgeries to put tubes in my ears, which has resulted in partial hearing loss. And as an adult, I had to grind through 6 to 8 sinus infections per year, each time becoming more and more antibiotic resistant, requiring stronger and stronger antibiotics with worse and worse side effects. Despite the best efforts of all my doctors, I continued to suffer until the night when I realized that my pink and perfect new daughter was likely destined for the same life of suffering and medicated half-life that I was living. That realization felt like a sucker punch to the gut, and you know what? I had enough. Years of digestive issues, to put it politely, from almost constant antibiotic use, partial hearing loss from ear infections as a kid, missing out on the joys of life and just existing due to medications, and there was no end in sight. So that night, I decided to stand up for my daughter and myself, and I politely told the doctors exactly where they should shove their antibiotics. Now, mind you, they were preventative, and my daughter was in no danger at all. Later that night, as I tried to get a little sleep, I began to wonder, what the hell am I supposed to do now? I did only one thing I could think of. I began reaching out to anyone and everyone I knew, friends, family, people I'd met in chiropractic school at Cleveland Chiropractic College, even searching the internet for something that could break the cycle of sinus infections followed by medications followed by antibiotics, and slowly, painfully, since I had stopped taking any medication or antibiotic, I began to discover alternatives. Some of these natural remedies were absolutely worthless. For every remedy that worked, I tried several that didn't. I kept what did work and threw out what didn't. But as I learned more through this research over the course of months, trying to find a better path for my daughter than I had been given, I began to uncover a process. I uncovered one technique with its roots based in Chinese acupressure. I discovered a traditional Hindu Ayurvedic practice used by ancient and present-day yogis. And the deeper I dug, the more I recognized the link between food allergies and sinus inflammation. And after much research, I created my own remedy that tied all of these things together. And I realized I was beginning to feel better. In fact, the process had completely eliminated my sinus symptoms, and I had discovered a whole host of natural antiviral, antibacterial agents that actually worked. In fact, the reason why I introduced this story with the image of a guy smashing a bottle of wine on his face is because of one of these powerful agents is the oil extracted from grape seeds. And in a moment, I'm going to reveal exactly how that oil, used in conjunction with the other pieces of the process, was the key to smashing through the sinus cycle I had experienced my whole life. Listen, if a half-deaf, antibiotic-resistant, medicine-headed chiropractor can use these simple techniques to resurrect his health and enjoy life again, believe me, anyone can do it. Now, I know for some people out there, relieving sinus problems seems trivial, because let's be honest, it's not like curing cancer, solving the mystery of Lou Gehrig's disease, or unraveling autism. Yet for most regular people like you and me, I'll tell you this. When you get to actually enjoy the time spent with your loved ones and actually be fully engaged at your kid's soccer game, or even just relax outside in a hammock on a lazy spring afternoon, it's important enough to help you enjoy the type of life sinus sufferers only dream of. Now you might be wondering, why the heck am I telling you all this? Well, two reasons. First, I wanted you to see that you and I are probably very much alike. Because up until a few years ago, I was just an average person with sinus problems, struggling to find a better way until I happened to stumble upon a process which was the breakthrough I needed, and a process I'm about to share with you today. Before I reveal the specifics of that process, first you need to know the truth about something. It's something that took me a while to figure out, yet it's important. Because it's the real problem we face when dealing with our sinus health, and the real reason why people like you and me struggle with sinus misery. In fact, it might surprise you when I tell you what it is. Because if you're like most of us who eventually figure out this dirty little secret, it usually is the biggest thing that's been keeping you sick. You see, the real problem is that you've been lied to for years, and these lies are keeping you from winning the battle against sinus pain. You have been told or perhaps believed that antibiotics, nasal steroids, and decongestants are the best way to treat a sinus infection. Yet, that's absolutely nonsense. If you're one of the many chronic sinus sufferers that have actually believed this and accepted it as truth, then you need to decide now to pay attention to what I'm sharing with you, because if you don't, you'll continue to struggle, or worse, you'll squash any hope of life without sinus pain, and you'll never ever live to your full potential. And that is not what I desire for you. And that's the real reason why your struggle with sinus pressure, congestion, and pain is not your fault. If you want someone to blame, don't blame yourself. Blame the drug companies who have sold you on bullshit drugs and pills that can actually make your symptoms worse. Drugs and pills that can eat holes in your nose, make you lose control of your bowels, and question your own sanity. The truth is, drug companies are not smarter than Mother Nature, and you should never use a treatment that can cause additional harm. Since Mother Nature created the solution you desire, it's just a matter of applying that solution in your daily routine. In fact, now that you know the problem, that your sinus health has been taken hostage by the drug companies demanding profit, let's dive into the specific tips I have for you today. Because in a minute, I want to share with you the actual sinus health process that helped me avoid antibiotics, doctors, and drugs for over 3 years now. The same process my 5-year-old daughter uses, and the same process I've taught to people literally all over the country to finally eradicate their sinus problems. So without further delay, let's dive into the 3-step sinus health process. The first thing I have to do is to warn you to avoid aggravating any food allergies you may have. Food allergies, gluten and dairy are the most common, can cause an inflammatory response from the autoimmune system. This can express itself in many subtle ways like skin rashes, irritable bowels, but it can also cause inflammation in the sinus cavities, resulting in, at the very least, a persistent runny nose, and at worst can swell the tissue, creating blockage and eventually a miserable sinus infection. Yet food allergies are very difficult to recognize due to the delayed nature of any symptoms. So if you have a recurrent sinus problem and have not been checked for food allergies, do yourself a favor and get tested with the ELISA Food Allergy Panel, or by finding a qualified naturopath who can perform a non-invasive muscle test for food allergies. And then, of course, don't eat what you are allergic to. The second piece of the sinus health process are 2 very simple acupressure techniques. The first is to apply gentle circular pressure to the points noted in the picture above. These points can help relieve the sinus pressure and release built-up congestion. To combat sinus pressure and headaches and also induce drainage of the sinus cavities, there are points on each side of the spine under the skull that give immediate relief to most people, with the use of a gentle to moderate pressure and circular rubbing motion. And along the same lines, professional chiropractic adjustments can be extremely beneficial, as chiropractic has been shown to boost the immune system and help fight bacteria and viruses by empowering the nervous system to function optimally, which supercharges the immune system. Get a recommendation on a chiro doc who focuses on upper cervical and tonal-based adjustment protocols. And that brings us to the most important step in the entire sinus health process, step 3. Without step 3, you can forget about anything else because it's the most critical step in the whole process and the secret to it all. Now, before I reveal what step 3 is and the reason why it's so important, first I need to finish our story from before because it will show you exactly how step 3 works in action. You see, there was one critical detail I left out in my story because everything that happened up until that point, all the success I'd experienced, came this close to falling apart when I got a return call from none other than Dr. Anna Solomon, noted sinus expert and creator of the NasoPure nasal irrigation system. You see, you can only fly under the radar so long before you start attracting attention. And as word spread about the type of success I was having treating sinus problems with 100% natural remedies, she wanted to talk. I was nervous. I figured she would have the same negative attitude towards natural remedies as most MDs, and part of me wondered if she just wanted to berate and beat me down for going against all the drug company dogma and best practices. Yet when she got on the phone, I was shocked, because Anna is really an open-minded doctor, and the reason why she called was to tell me she was impressed, which caught me off guard. I went on to tell her how much I respected her work and told her the story of how the natural remedies I had discovered changed my life. How I have been a disengaged husband, a medicated zombie, and resigned to believe that sinus pain was just part of life. We wrapped up the call with her mentioning how excited she was about step 3 of the process, in particular the key element that I had added through my research that acts as a supercharger and ties the entire process together, giving almost immediate relief as well as ongoing prevention of sinus inflammation and infection, yet cost a fraction of what a typical sinus sufferer might pay using normal doctor-recommended treatments. Treatments which could cost almost $600 per month. That's over $7,000 per year. And this brings us to the final step in the sinus health process. Supercharge your Neti Pot. We'll get to the critical supercharger part in a minute. First, let me show you what a Neti Pot is. That is a Neti Pot, and it is used for nasal irrigation, the process of passing warm saline solution through the sinus passages to rinse and flush any contaminants, bacteria, or viruses that are present. The saline solution itself is an effective soothing and healing agent, yet it makes sense to apply a powerful antiviral, antibacterial, or antihistamine agent directly to the tissues in the sinus cavities to battle against existing bacteria, viruses, and other contaminants, and also to help prevent any new infections from cropping up. This is where my research into natural oils and extracts has really paid off. The 100% natural agents I've discovered, including grapeseed extract, do exactly this. These oils and extracts are the supercharger that makes this process 3 times more effective than saline alone. Now that you know the 3 main steps of the sinus health process, you're faced with 2 choices. Choice number 1. You can take all the information from this presentation and go it all alone. You can go out and try each and every natural sinus remedy out there, decide whether they work or are a load of crap, and try to figure out the best natural ingredients to use for your Neti Pot supercharger to maximize its effectiveness while making sure it's still soothing and refreshing to use. Source a supplier who will handcraft your supercharger in small batches, and who knows, you may see some success if you spend months and even thousands of dollars. Or there's choice number 2, the savvy choice. This is the smartest path to take. After all, why start from scratch and try to reinvent the wheel when the exact formula has been laid out for you? In fact, this is exactly what the vast majority of my successful clients decide to do. It's called the All Stuffy Neti Pot Supercharger. Hi, my name is Dr. Justin Potts, and All Stuffy is the first and only Neti Pot booster on the market that battles your sinus problems using the safest, most effective 100% natural remedies. Even if you've never used a natural remedy in your life, you've never even heard of a Neti Pot, you have no idea if you have food allergies, or even if you struggled with natural remedies that just haven't been effective and you think you've tried everything. Now let me tell you what All Stuffy is not. Just so you know exactly what you're about to experience, All Stuffy is not some magic quack remedy with the ridiculous promise like getting forever instant perfect sinus health or some other outrageous claim. Listen, you've been lied to enough. It's time for a proven formula you can use to get your sinus problems under control and begin enjoying your life. All Stuffy is the result of years of studying and researching the most effective natural sinus remedies ever that has transformed countless lives into a radiant, healthy, energized, and engaged experience. Not only will you be given the opportunity to experience that yourself, we'll also take you by the hand and show you how you can start getting results from it right away, no matter what state your sinuses are in. We'll show you how to quickly start relieving your sinus symptoms using this exact remedy. Now, before we go any further, it's only fair I'm 100% honest with you. Because if you're looking for some magic pill to be miraculously healed in the next 15 minutes or some promise of instant relief where your sinuses improve with no effort, then leave this page now. The Neti Pot Supercharger is for people who are ready to put down the miracle cures and who are willing to put in a little effort to get results. In short, there are no easy answers, yet we've made it as easy as possible for you to be successful. So if you'd like a 100% natural, effective sinus relief product, a formula that can help virtually any person with sinus issues, then All Stuffy isn't just a remedy for you, it's the only remedy for you. In fact, here's what this product has done for other sinus sufferers just like you. This is from B. King in Winchester, Kentucky. I was taking something called Allegra, a drug inhaler and nasal spray that didn't work. I have used all Stuffy for 3 months now and do not use any of my prior prescription drugs. It works. This is from Steve L. of Oklahoma City. What started as a cold had become a serious sinus infection Friday morning. I began using the all Stuffy Neti Pot Supercharger morning and night. By Sunday afternoon, I was feeling human again. This is from Joy H. in Moorhead, Kentucky. One of my children had constant ear infections, which has now disappeared thanks to the ear infection product All Stuffy. It's amazing what all it can do. Now let's take a look at what you'll receive as soon as you sign up to get your Supercharger. Number 1, the Neti Pot Supercharger itself. Number 2, you'll get my secret uses hot sheet. And the third thing you'll get is the nasal irrigation tutorial video. Let's break each of those down in detail. The first one, the Neti Pot Supercharger, is the very blend of essential oils that I have used to combat my sinus issues. And it comes in a small spray bottle that makes it easy to use with your Neti Pot of choice. Just a quick spray or two into the Neti Pot with your saline solution is all it takes. We call it the All Stuffy Neti Pot Supercharger. The second, you'll get access to our secret uses hot sheet to introduce you to other ways you can benefit by using the All Stuffy Neti Pot Supercharger. Bonus tip here, All Stuffy is awesome for ear infections, and I'll tell you exactly how to use it. The third, the nasal irrigation video tutorial, will give you video demonstration of the proper way to use a Neti Pot. For example, in the Neti Pot video tutorial, we detail how to properly prepare your water for the most comfortable nasal irrigation experience, how to mix the perfect saline solution concentration, the one kind of salt you should not use, the ideal amount of All Stuffy to use, and even one dangerous practice you should avoid. You'll even get a demonstration by my 5-year-old daughter as a bonus. So as you can see, the All Stuffy Supercharger provides you with the safest, most effective way to take control of your sinuses and start enjoying a pain-free life of energy, engagement, and passion. Now, you may believe a unique product like this that is natural and organic will cost a pretty penny. And to be perfectly honest, it really should. After all, this formula has helped countless people like you and me conquer their sinus issues. Now, I'll get to the price in just a few moments. First, I want to share a few other unique benefits this one-of-a-kind remedy will deliver to you. You see, because of the unique ability of the Supercharger to deliver its agents directly to the tissues in the sinus cavity, it not only battles existing sinus infections, swelling, congestion, and pressure, the Supercharger also acts as a barrier to new infections as well. In fact, once you incorporate regular use of the Supercharger in your sinus health regimen, you'll discover that you are much less susceptible to new infections. Now, because All Stuffy could save you over $7,000 per year in sinus bills, normally by itself, All Stuffy sells for $97.95. Yet you're not just receiving the standard version of All Stuffy today, because when you order today, as a way of saying thanks, I'd like to also give you free of charge these value-added bonuses to help you get the sinus pain and pressure you are experiencing right now under control. The first is an ebook titled 5 Ways Your Sinus Doctor Has Failed You. This ebook outlines the biggest mistakes your sinus doctor is making when treating your sinus issues. I'll also reveal how you can skip the doctor's office, avoid ineffective antibiotics, and get immediate sinus relief from 5 simple, effective natural remedies. Regularly priced at $27, this bonus is yours absolutely free. Your second free gift is 50% off your own NasoPure nasal irrigation system. Everything you need to get started with nasal irrigation right away. It's an 8-ounce NasoPure Neti Pot and 20 pre-measured buffered salt packets. The perfect Neti Pot to use with your All Stuffy Supercharger. It's a $10 value, 50% off retail. Now, if you're like most people, you can see why All Stuffy is valued at $97.95. Because even without the bonuses, this is a steal. And if you bought the remedy and bonuses by themselves, your total investment would be well over $130. However, just for watching this presentation today, I have a much better deal coming your way. Just keep watching, as it won't last much longer. Of course, you could choose to just continue down the path you're on now, going at it all alone, assuming your doctor has it right, doing whatever it is that you're doing until you see that life might pass you by. And eventually you give in to the lies you've been told and decide to simply give up. That isn't what I want for you. So let's make this a completely easy decision, okay? I feel like you deserve to know why I'm about to offer you such a massive discount today. In fact, it's one of the main reasons why I wanted to develop sinus remedies in the first place. You see, the All Stuffy Supercharger isn't just a sinus remedy to me. It's a lifesaver as well. When my daughter was just 2 years old, we were on a family vacation in the Everglades. In the dead of the night, miles from civilization, she began to struggle to breathe, and she was actually turning blue. I had a prototype of the All Stuffy Supercharger in my bag, and with no other options, I frantically began to apply it to her face, nose, and her mouth in a desperate attempt to start her breathing again. She's 5 now, and I believe with my heart and soul, the All Stuffy formula saved her life that night. So let me share my dream with you. It's a cause I'm inviting you to join, along with thousands of folks just like you and me, who desire a less toxic, more nurturing, and natural system of healthcare. This past year, I set an inspiring goal. I decided this year that I would dedicate myself to help 1,000 people naturally regain their sinus health. So assuming 30 antibiotic pills per round, 3 rounds per year for each of the 1,000 people, that's 90,000 antibiotics out of circulation this year. 90,000 antibiotics that aren't out there creating new resistant superbugs, so that when you really need antibiotics, and I believe there are situations when antibiotics are needed, they will actually work. Now, 1,000 people is a fairly modest goal, given that there are over 91 million sinus sufferers in the US alone. But how many other people would be inspired by this cause? So the bottom line is this. I decided that I absolutely need to let as many folks as possible join in on this cause. And the good news is that means a much lower price for you today, because I don't want finances to stop anyone. So let's add your newfound sinus health to the cause, starting right now. That means today you will not be paying the retail value of the Neti Pot Supercharger and the bonuses. Not even close. Your investment today won't be $134.95. In fact, not even half that. Instead, your total investment today, which includes the Neti Pot Supercharger and both bonuses, only one payment of just $57.95. And by the way, you can check out the Supercharger right now without risk a penny, because you're protected by our 100% unconditional triple guarantee. Here's how it works. Starting today, check out All Stuffy Neti Pot Supercharger for a full 60 days. Watch the Neti Pot video tutorial to start yourself down the path of freedom from sinus pain, pressure, and congestion. And when your Supercharger arrives in the mail, experience the full power of the All Stuffy Neti Pot Supercharger. Then after using the Supercharger, if you don't achieve the results you expect in those 60 short days, or if you don't experience significant relief in the frequency of your sinus symptoms in the first 30 days, or if you even don't like the way our emails look, the sound of my voice right now, the lighting in the videos, you name it, we'll gladly refund every penny. No questions asked and no hassles either. So here's what to do now. Look below this video right now. Click on the big yellow button that says Add to Cart to claim your discounted Supercharger while this deal is still available. Remember, you'll join the hundreds of other Neti Pot Supercharger success stories like Steve and Joy. Plus, if you act now before this presentation ends, I'll also toss in a one-of-a-kind super bonus worth over $97. It's the free roll-on bottle of Can't Breathe Oil. The power of the Neti Pot Supercharger right in your pocket. Can't Breathe Oil is a topical treatment, and it's a sister product to All Stuffy. It works to reduce your nasal pain, congestion, and swelling so you can breathe easier, smell that fresh cup of coffee in the morning, and enjoy your food again because you can actually smell it. Valued at over $97.95, it's your super bonus free today. That brings your total value to over $232. Yet today, when you act now, it's all yours for just one payment of only $57.95. Remember, it's not just a great bargain you're getting today. You'll be joining a cause to help in one of the biggest health crises in history, and you'll become a part of an ever-growing community of like-minded individuals. Now, here's what a few more people are saying about our remedies. This is from Bill in Versailles, Indiana. I had a sinus infection for over a year. I was using 3 to 4 nasal drugs per week. I finally went and got a can't breathe oil. I applied as I was told and I didn't use the drugs. I drained a lot of ugly junk the next day and my sinuses cleared up immediately. This is from Rhonda in Oklahoma City. I got my sample of all Stuffy in the mail. Love this stuff. So now that you've heard what a few people are saying, here's what to do now. Simply click on the yellow button below that says Add to Cart to claim your discounted Supercharger now. You'll be granted immediate access to everything. Instant access to the Neti Pot tutorial, your Supercharger popped in the mail ASAP, and all the bonuses, plus the convenient on-the-go can't breathe oil worth over $97.95. just for taking immediate action today. Here's what will happen the moment you click on the Add to Cart button below this video. First, you'll be taken to our 100% secure online checkout page, which will look like this. There, simply enter your name, your mailing address, your email address, and your shipping address if different from your mailing address. Then when you're finished, just click the Place Order button at the bottom right to get your bottle of all Stuffy Neti Pot Supercharger shipped right away. And that's it. It's really that simple. Remember, whatever struggles you've had up until today have largely been no fault of your own. It's true. You and I have both dealt with lies and been force-fed by profit-hungry drug companies who have only had their own best interest at heart, certainly not the health of average people like us. However, today marks your day to take responsibility, to take the action necessary to put an end to the lies and start using a sinus health remedy that's proven to work. Remember, all Stuffy is 100% guaranteed. Try it for a full 60 days and see the results you desire, or you pay absolutely nothing. Plus, if you ever have a question, you're always minutes away from an answer from our friendly support staff. Look below this video right now. Click on the yellow button that says Add to Cart to claim your discounted price now. You'll be granted immediate access to everything, your Neti Pot Supercharger and all the bonuses, plus your bonus on-the-go can't breathe oil sinus pain and congestion remedy worth over $97.95 just for taking immediate action today. Immediately after you order, here's what you need to do right away. Watch the Neti Pot video tutorial all the way through, where I reveal the proper way to irrigate your sinuses and get the best results from your all Stuffy Supercharger. Remember, along with your Neti Pot video tutorial, you'll also be receiving a spray applicator bottle of the all Stuffy Neti Pot Supercharger and also the all Stuffy Secret Uses hot sheet, the bonus ebook 5 Ways Your Sinus Doctors Has Failed You, and 50% off a NasoPure nasal irrigation Neti Pot system. Nasal irrigation made as safe and simple as humanly possible. And our super bonus, 1 roll-on applicator bottle of Can't Breathe Oil, the on-the-go sinus remedy. When you order right now today, you'll receive everything I just mentioned. The only catch is this. If you want to take advantage of this special $57.95 deal and get the $135 worth of bonuses for free, you must order now, and here's why. You see, the special $57.95 offer is only being made available for a limited time on this page only. In fact, if you go to supercharger.organicie.com homepage right now, you'll see the regular price of over $97.95 for this remedy, and the bonuses will cost you extra. And you won't want to feel left out if we run out of 50% coupon codes for the NasoPure system, because those coupon codes will be given out on a first-come, first-served basis. And let's not forget, unless you take action right now, today, you may never take action. And even worse, if you decide to wait even just a day, you might come back to this page and find this deal is taken off the market and no longer available. So if you're still not quite sure, or if you're on the fence, here's what I recommend. Don't decide if this sinus remedy is right for you today. Instead, go ahead and sign up now so you don't miss out on this special limited time deal. Then watch the video, use the Supercharger, use all the bonuses including the Can't Breathe oil. If you like the remedy, then keep it. If not, then all you need to do is shoot us a quick email letting us know, and you'll receive a fast and courteous refund. It's really as simple as that. All you need to do is click on the button below. Fill out the safe and secure online order form, and once you've done that, you'll receive instant access to the Neti Pot video tutorial and your bonuses minutes from this very moment. And your All Stuffy Neti Pot Supercharger and Can't Breathe Oil Super Bonus will be delivered to your front door as quickly as humanly possible. Okay, I'll leave you with that for now. Thanks so much for watching, and by the way, once you've completed your order, I've got some additional natural health resources I want to share with you on the other side. So go ahead and complete your order right now while you've got this page open and you're still thinking about it. Simply click on the button below now.